right, this should be fun. Hey, you guys know where I can find the rock? Where's the rock? Hey, you guys know where I can find the rock? Hey, you guys know where I can find the rock?
Many celebrities we think we know have hidden depths to their heritage, particularly when it comes to African-American roots. Let's explore the fascinating stories of 20 celebrities whose Black ancestry might surprise you. Dwayne Johnson, known to millions as The Rock, has a rich and diverse heritage that many fans might not fully appreciate. Born into a wrestling dynasty, Johnson followed in the footsteps of his father, Rocky Johnson, who made history as one of the first Black champions in WWE. The Rock's background is a fascinating blend of African-Canadian and Samoan ancestry. His father hails from Nova Scotia, Canada, connecting him to the Black Nova Scotian community, which was formed by Black loyalists and freed slaves who settled in the area after the American Revolution. This heritage links Dwayne Johnson to a long and significant history of African Americans who sought freedom and opportunity outside the United States. Vin Diesel, the action star known for his deep voice and intense on-screen presence, has a mixed background that many fans don't know about. Born Mark Sinclair in New York City, Diesel's biological father left when he was just a baby. He was raised by his African-American stepfather, which exposed him to a rich tapestry of cultural diversity from a young age. Growing up in New York City, Diesel experienced a lot of cultural diversity, which shaped him as a person. He learned to embrace different aspects of his identity, but he has always been careful about how much he reveals publicly. Diesel has often spoken about how people ask him about his racial identity. He once said, "I identify with everything." Rashida Jones, daughter of music legend Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton, navigates a complex biracial identity. With an African-American father and a mother of European descent, Jones has faced the challenges that come with straddling two worlds. She's spoken about not feeling like she fully belongs in either community and dealing with people trying to make her choose one side over the other. Wentworth Miller, famous for his role in Prison Break, has a background that's as intriguing as his on-screen characters. Miller's father is of African-American, Jamaican, and British descent, while his mother's background isn't widely discussed. This mix has led to Miller facing challenges due to his racial ambiguity. He's been open about how his appearance has affected his life and career, often speaking openly about race and its impact. Jennifer Beals, who shot to fame with Flashdance and later starred in The L Word, has a biracial background that's not immediately apparent. Born to an African-American father and an Irish-American mother, Beals has spoken about feeling like an outsider due to her mixed heritage. This experience has influenced her career, with Beals often being cast in roles where her ethnicity is left ambiguous. Beals was born in Chicago in the 1960s, a time when interracial relationships were still controversial in many parts of the country. Pete Wentz, best known as the bassist of Fall Out Boy, surprises many with his racial background. Wentz's mother, Dale, is of Afro-Jamaican descent, a fact that often catches people off guard due to his appearance. Growing up in Chicago exposed Wentz to a diverse range of cultural influences, shaping his worldview and music. While he's open about his race in interviews, it continues to surprise many of his fans. Maya Rudolph, the comedic powerhouse, comes from a truly blended background. As the daughter of famous African-American singer Minnie Riperton and music producer Richard Rudolph, who is Ashkenazi Jewish, Maya grew up in a home where cultures merged seamlessly. Interestingly, she's mentioned that she didn't think much about race growing up, focusing instead on the love and creativity that filled her home. Troyan Bellisario, known for her role in Pretty Little Liars, has a heritage that might surprise many. Her mother has African-American and Creole roots, while her father is of European descent. Bellisario's appearance doesn't fit common assumptions about African-American backgrounds, leading to frequent misunderstandings about her racial identity. Despite this, she remains comfortable with who she is, choosing not to constantly explain or justify her heritage. Cash Warren, while often recognized as Jessica Alba's husband, has his own intriguing background. As the son of Michael Warren, a well-known African-American actor and former basketball player. Cash grew up in a mixed-race household. While he doesn't often speak publicly about his race, it's clear that his upbringing has shaped his worldview. Meghan Markle's biracial background became a global talking point when she married into the British royal family. With an African-American mother, Doria Ragland, and a white father, Thomas Markle, Meghan has spoken about the confusion she experienced regarding her ethnicity while growing up. She has talked about how people would sometimes question her ethnicity, not quite knowing how to place her. Since stepping into the spotlight, she's been vocal about the challenges of being a biracial woman in a high-profile position, bringing attention to issues of race and representation. In interviews, Meghan has opened up about her experiences, explaining that being biracial can be complicated. She didn't feel like she fully fit in with any group, but this struggle with identity helped shape who she became. Halsey, the chart-topping singer, is another celebrity whose racial background often surprises people. Biracial with a black father and white mother, Halsey is frequently assumed to be fully white due to her light skin. She's been open about her struggles with connecting to her black identity and the privileges that come with her appearance. Carol Channing, the legendary Broadway star known for her blonde hair and fair skin, kept a surprising secret for most of her life. At age 16, Channing learned that she had black heritage. Her mother told her that her father was part black, a fact Channing didn't know before. Despite this revelation, she made the difficult decision to pass as white to protect her career in an era when such diversity wasn't celebrated. Channing didn't share this information widely because she knew that revealing her background could limit the roles she would get. Back then, it wasn't easy for a person with any black heritage to succeed on Broadway or in Hollywood, no matter their talent. Carmen Ejogo, a British actress with a Nigerian father and Scottish mother, proudly embraces her African roots despite her light skin and European features. Ejogo has faced challenges in the film industry due to her race and appearance, often finding herself in a liminal space when it comes to casting. Slash, the iconic guitarist of Guns N' Roses, has a fascinating racial background that many fans might not know about. Born to a black fashion designer mother and a white artist father, Slash grew up immersed in a world of creativity and diversity. Interestingly, he didn't focus much on race growing up, instead channeling his energy into his passion for music. Tessa Thompson, known for her roles in Westworld and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, navigates a complex racial identity. With an Afro-Panamanian father and a mother of Mexican descent, Thompson's experience as a biracial woman in America has shaped her perspective both personally and professionally. She embraces both her black and Mexican backgrounds, bringing depth and nuance to her roles and public discussions about race. Thompson's father, who was Afro-Panamanian, had a deep influence on her understanding of her black heritage. But her mother, despite not being black, played a big role in teaching Tessa to take pride in her identity as a black woman. Her mother's father was of Mexican descent and worked as a performer in a time when there were not many performers of color. He wanted Tessa's mother to fit into society and did not allow her to speak Spanish at home. This pressure to fit in shaped how Tessa's mother approached life. Jessica Soar, best known for her role in Gossip Girl, has an African-American mother, a fact that surprises many due to her appearance. In Hollywood, Soar is often cast in racially ambiguous roles, reflecting the industry's sometimes narrow view of racial representation. Aubrey Plaza, celebrated for her unique brand of humor and roles in shows like Parks and Recreation, has a more diverse background than many realize. With Puerto Rican roots from her father's side and some African ancestry, Plaza's light skin has sometimes made her feel disconnected from her Latino heritage. Plaza has talked about how growing up biracial affected her personally and professionally, especially since people often assume she is just Caucasian. She won several diversity awards when she was younger, but it always felt strange to her. She didn't always feel like she had the right to claim her heritage fully, especially since people around her didn't think she looked like what they expected a Latina to look like. Tyga, the rapper known for his hit songs and high-profile relationships, has a background that often surprises his fans. With an African-American father and a mother of Vietnamese descent, Tyga's mixed heritage is an evidence of America's diverse cultural landscape. Lastly, we have Nicolette Robinson, an actress whose background is a beautiful blend of African-American and Ashkenazi Jewish heritage. Raised in a household that celebrated both Christian and Jewish holidays, Robinson's upbringing has given her a unique perspective that influences her acting career and role choices. Her diverse background came into the spotlight when she and her husband, Leslie Odom Jr., performed a Hanukkah song together. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on upcoming content. On social causes, particularly supporting LGBTQ+ rights in homeless shelters. Her commitment to authenticity extends to her career choices, where she often takes roles based on social impact rather than salary. Number 4, Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali, a two-time Oscar winner, lives a life guided by his Muslim faith rather than Hollywood expectations. He maintains a modest home and lifestyle, focusing on spiritual growth rather than material wealth. Despite his success in films and TV shows, Ali is rarely seen at Hollywood parties or events unless they're directly related to his work or charitable causes. He drives regular cars and often travels on commercial flights, preferring to live below his means. Ali spends significant time supporting Islamic charities and educational initiatives, believing that his success should benefit others. His friends say he's more likely to be found at the mosque or spending time with family than at celebrity gatherings. Number 3, Regina King. Regina King combines critical acclaim with a deliberately modest lifestyle. Despite her Oscar and multiple Emmy wins, she lives in a regular Los Angeles neighborhood rather than behind gates in Beverly Hills. King is known for being hands-on with her charitable work, particularly focusing on youth education and women's empowerment. She drives practical cars and is often spotted shopping at local markets rather than high-end stores. King prioritizes directing and producing projects that create opportunities for others in the industry, rather than maximizing her own wealth. Her commitment to living simply while making a difference shows that success doesn't require extravagance. Number 2, Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman, even at the height of his Black Panther fame, maintained an incredibly modest lifestyle that many only learned about after his passing. He lived in a simple apartment rather than a mansion, drove regular cars, and focused on his craft rather than accumulating wealth. Despite battling cancer, Boseman continued visiting sick children in hospitals and supporting various charities, often anonymously. He was known for helping young actors with their careers and paying it forward whenever possible. Friends revealed that he often took pay cuts to ensure projects he believed in could get made, showing his commitment to art over commerce. Number 1, Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe, despite her success in both music and film, maintains a lifestyle focused on creativity rather than luxury. She lives in a modest home in Atlanta rather than moving to more expensive entertainment hubs. Monáe is known for reinvesting her earnings into her art and supporting other artists rather than living extravagantly. She drives regular cars and often wears her iconic black and white outfits multiple times, showing that style doesn't require endless spending. Her focus remains on creating meaningful art and supporting social causes, particularly in the LGBTQ+ community. Friends say she's more likely to be found in the recording studio or at activist meetings than at celebrity parties. These stories reveal a different side of Hollywood, one where success isn't measured by the size of your mansion or the price of your car. These actors prove that it's possible to achieve great things while staying true to your values and living modestly. Their choices challenge the stereotype that fame must lead to excess, showing instead that true success might just be about making a difference while staying grounded in who you are. Have you ever witnessed a moment where time seems to stand still, where an act of kindness transforms an ordinary day into something extraordinary? What would you do if you encountered a vulnerable child alone in a vast, empty church? This heartwarming story reveals how Kate Middleton's maternal instincts and compassionate heart turned a potentially frightening situation into a touching demonstration of humanity that resonates with anyone who believes in the power of kindness. On a crisp autumn afternoon, as golden leaves danced outside century-old windows, the historic church stood as a silent witness to an unexpected encounter that would touch hearts and remind us of our shared humanity. The charity service had just concluded, and most attendees were filtering out into the brisk afternoon air. Kate Middleton lingered near the altar, engaged in meaningful conversation with Father Gregory, the parish priest whose dedication to community service was evident in every passionate word he spoke. The ancient stone walls held centuries of prayers and whispered hopes, while the warm light, filtering through stained glass windows, painted medieval stories across the worn stone floor. The atmosphere was peaceful, filled with the kind of tranquility that often follows moments of communal gathering. As the congregation's footsteps and murmured conversations faded, the church seemed to settle into its familiar solitude. Father Gregory spoke animatedly about the church's outreach programs, his eyes bright with enthusiasm as he shared stories of lives touched and communities strengthened. Kate listened attentively, her elegant presence adding warmth to the historic space. Yet, even as she engaged in conversation, her observant nature, a quality that had served her well in both royal duties and motherhood, caught something others had missed. There, in the back of the church, partially hidden by the imposing wooden pews and elongated shadows, sat a little girl, no more than 5 years old. The sight immediately drew Kate's attention, not just because of the child's solitude, but because of the palpable anxiety evident in her small frame. The little girl clutched a well-worn teddy bear, its fur bearing the loving marks of countless embraces and shared tears. Her other hand gripped the edge of the wooden pew so tightly that her knuckles had turned white, a physical manifestation of her inner distress. The contrast was striking and heartbreaking. This tiny figure set against the grandeur of soaring Gothic arches and magnificent stained glass windows. The child's wide eyes darted around the space with an urgency that spoke of mounting fear, scanning each departing face with diminishing hope. Her teddy bear, clearly a longtime companion, showed signs of being well-loved. Patches of fur worn thin, one button eye slightly loose, yet clearly cherished all the more for these imperfections. Kate's maternal instinct, honed by her own experience as a mother, immediately recognized the signs of a child in distress. With the grace that had become her hallmark, she gently excused herself from Father Gregory's company. Her measured steps across the chapel created soft echoes that seemed to harmonize with the sacred space. The warm afternoon light streaming through the windows appeared to follow her progress, casting a gentle glow that made her approach seem almost ethereal. As Kate drew closer, she noticed how the little girl seemed to shrink further into herself, making her already small frame appear even tinier. Years of working with children had taught Kate the importance of approaching carefully in such situations. With natural grace, she lowered herself to the child's eye level, ensuring her presence would feel less intimidating. Her smile was gentle, radiating warmth and reassurance as she spoke. "Hello, sweetheart. Are you all right? Is someone here with you?" The young girl's eyes met Kate's, and though fear still shadowed their depths, something about Kate's presence, perhaps her genuine warmth or calming demeanor, seemed to pierce through the cloud of anxiety. Her lip trembled as she whispered in a voice barely louder than a breath, "I lost my mom." Those 5 simple words carried the weight of every child's greatest fear, making the vast church seem even larger and more intimidating. Without hesitation, Kate set aside all thoughts of royal protocol and position. She knelt fully beside the pew, her complete attention focused on the frightened child before her. "It's okay," she soothed, her voice carrying the steady warmth of a candle flame in the darkness. "We'll find her, sweetheart. You're not alone anymore." Through gentle conversation, Kate learned that the little girl's name was Sophie, and her constant companion was Mr. Snuggles, the beloved teddy bear whose worn appearance spoke volumes about his importance in Sophie's young life. Kate's natural ability to connect with children shone through as she addressed both Sophie and Mr. Snuggles with equal importance, treating the stuffed animal as a vital participant in their conversation. This simple act of acknowledging the bear's significance brought the first hint of a genuine smile to Sophie's face. Understanding the need to keep Sophie calm while help was summoned, Kate suggested they light a candle together. This simple yet meaningful activity would prove to be a turning point in their interaction. As they walked toward the altar, Kate shared a personal memory that helped bridge the gap between them. When I was a little girl, my mom used to light candles with me when I felt scared. It always helped me feel brave. Would you like to try it? The ritual of lighting the candle became more than just an activity. It transformed into a moment of connection and hope. Kate guided Sophie's small hand with the match, their movements careful and deliberate. Together they watched the flame catch and grow, its warm light seeming to push back the shadows of fear that had surrounded Sophie. The child's whispered observation that "it's working" brought a warm smile to Kate's face and confirmed the power of this simple act of faith and comfort. While discreetly arranging for church staff to search for Sophie's mother, Kate maintained a gentle conversation with the child. She shared stories about her own children's favorite toys and adventures, creating a comfortable space where Sophie's anxiety could gradually dissolve into engagement and even occasional giggles. Kate's ability to balance the practical needs of the situation with emotional support showed her natural gift for nurturing and protecting. Time passed, marked only by the flickering of candles and the growing bond between the royal mother and the lost child. They talked about favorite colors, beloved pets, and the special magic that makes teddy bears such perfect friends. Kate's stories about her own children's stuffed